Yeah.
The plates around the picture appear to have unlocked. I think I've already seen these symbols on Franklin's trophies. The Lion of Sumatra. The Alaskan Kodiak bear. The African kudu. I heard the sound of a mechanism. Strange way of protecting one's safe. Triangulating one's hunting sites on a map. A signet ring bearing the Clark's family's coat of arms. A number is written on it. A signet ring bearing... These documents are very likely going to help me for the rest of the inquiry. A dozen gold sovereigns, some shares for the Southern Railway and some treasury bills. This is not worth much, hardly enough to justify a robbery. A dozen gold sovereigns, some shares for the Southern Railway and some treasury bills. This is not worth much, hardly enough to justify a robbery. A dozen gold sovereigns. Charlotte Clark Comside Churston, Devon. To Mr. Franklin Clark, Peninsula Hotel, Salisbury Road, Chim Sha Tsui, Kowloon, Hong Kong, Comside, 1935, January 1st. I wish you with all my heart a happy year 1935. Writing my greeting cards, I have affectionate thoughts for you. Always smiling as a child, sailing to distant countries and bringing back to us trunks full of wonder. At home, everything annoys me, starting with this young Thora Sir Carmichael is so fond of. I have nobody to share my feelings with, so I write to you. How can I tell you what happens to me? The simplest way the better. I am doomed. I still have 1 year to live, no more. How do I know? I opened the secret drawer of Carmichael and read a letter not addressed to me. In this letter, Dr. Logan tells my husband in the most direct way the truth he conceals from me. Sir, I know, but my husband doesn't know I know. Please don't tell him. And if he shares the truth with you, act as you were surprised. Carl will probably speak in his usual convoluted way, but I wanted to be the first to announce it to you. It does matter to me that you are aware of what happens in Comside. Warm regards, Charlotte. Sir Carmichael Clark, Comside Churston, Devon. Dear Franklin, first, I wish you a good start to a successful new year. I have received your letter dated December 10th. Thanks for defending my interest against Wang, this robber. Things could have got pretty bad if you weren't a real cold-blooded guy. I envy you for that. Things go on here much as usual. Charlotte is moderately free from pain. I wish one could say more. You may remember Thora Gray. She is a dear girl and a greater comfort to me that I can tell you. I should not have known what to do through this bad time but for her. She has an exquisite taste and shares my passion for Chinese art. No daughter could be a closer or more sympathetic companion. Life has been difficult, but I am glad to feel that here she has a home and true affection. You wrote me you want to stay in China for 1 more year or even longer. I don't object. The longer you stay, the more opportunities you will have to increase our collection. Nonetheless, you should know that we miss you here, and that Charlotte will be gone by the time you come back. I am, dear Franklin, your truly affectionate brother. Eton College School Year 1912-1913. School report for Franklin Clark. According to his teachers, Sir Carmichael's collection could rival. This unit contains the medical records for Sir Carmichael Clark's patients. Let us study them closely and see if there are any familiar names. No dust on the records from A to D. They've been handled recently. No known names. Disappointing. Lots of dust. The records from E to Z have not been touched for years. No known names. I see some papers that were not there the first time I visited. Valuers report property. Building. Court and Brunskill. The name is familiar. Is that not the name of the firm Donald Fraser works for? These daggers are only ceremonial weapons. I do not think that the crime weapon is here. These daggers are... Ernest Logan, MD, Brighton Cancer Institute, 201 Dusk Road, Brighton, Sussex. To Sir Carmichael Clark, MD, Comside Churton, Devon. Brighton, 1935, January the 5th. As a man of science, I owe it to you to be completely... Lady Clark, your wife is suffering from a generalized terminal cancer. I estimate that Lady Clark's life expectancy is no more. Where is the horrible smell of carrion coming from? I would like to congratulate Clark's gardener. What symmetry! It was probably the gardener who lit this fire. Look here. I wonder if someone wanted to get rid of these papers. This object would probably be useful to me. May you have peace, Carmichael. Charlotte. Where is the horrible smell of carrion coming from? Clark's greenhouse. It must hold some rare plants. Where is the... This wisteria is in full bloom. This fountain makes a very relaxing sound. Something makes me feel uncomfortable. Brown pellets. Revolting. Let us now try and get our brain cells to work. Everything that Thorgray has left behind comes from Sir Carmichael's collection. He most probably gave them to her, but she chose to leave them here rather than run the risk of being accused of theft. It is understandable when you know just how much Lady Clark mistrusted her. Let us now try and get our brain cells to work. Thorgray had no reason to kill someone who only had a few months left to live. The poison she ordered was for rats. The gardener must have made good use of it, considering the stinking remains on the path, not far from the property. I've finished here. I must put the skeleton key back and inform Hastings that I'm returning to London. Tut-tut! The gardener does not follow the alignment. There, that's better. It is symmetrical. There, that's better. I must put the skeleton key back and inform Hastings that I'm returning to London. April 19. April 9. Perfect. Nothing else is keeping me here. Hello, Hastings. I have finished in Charleston. I will take the first train. Tell me, do you know how to restore writing on a burnt document?
Yes, you just have to soak a cloth with a hydrochloric acid solution and rub the sheet of paper. Then the characters appear.
Bien. You have been of great assistance, Hastings. Could you please order the solution as soon as possible?
Of course, but what documents do you want to read?
You will see, my friend. À ce soir.
Donald Fraser is here. He insisted on waiting to see you.
This man is tired. Donald is short of sleep, and it looks as if he didn't even bother to undress before going to bed.
Mr. Poirot, I don't know why I'm here.
You wanted to talk, and you came to find the only man capable of hearing you.
Mr. Poirot, since Betty's death, I've doubts about myself. I don't know what to do. And I keep having a horrible dream 3 nights in a row.
Have a drink, and tell me about this dream.
It's always the same. I'm on the beach with Betty. I grab her round the throat, and I squeeze, and squeeze until she's dead. Her head falls back, and I see that it's no longer Betty. It's Megan's face.
Have you seen Megan Barnard recently?
Yes, our grief has brought us together. I never really knew her before. She's really quite a remarkable girl. But I would never tell her about my dream.
Why not? Is it her you are attacking in your dream?
No, it's Betty. And once Betty is dead, it's Megan's face that appears in its place.
Very interesting. Let us now try and get our brain cells to work. Mr. Fraser, I think that the real meaning of this dream is that you are in love with Megan Barnard.
Please go on. Do.
This dream certainly betrays your guilt.
Oh.
But what do you feel guilty about? Having killed your fiancée? Possible. Or forgetting her very quickly for her sister? Certainly. And this forgetting is perceived as a second death.
So you don't really think I was the one who killed Betty?
I do not exclude this theory. I am simply saying that I do not need to know that fact to explain your dream and your guilt.
Thank you for being frank, Mr. Poirot. You've helped me a great deal. I'm going back to Bexhill. I'll not take any more of your time up.
It is late, Mr. Fraser, and you are tired.
I'll sleep on the train. I like trains. It's easy to sleep rocked by the sound of the wheels.
Poor boy, he seems completely lost.
Well, women seem to like him. I think Megan will take care of him. Oh, I remember. Did you order the product I needed?
Yes, we'll be receiving it tomorrow.
Bien, it is late, and I asked Miss Grey to come tomorrow morning. I have a few questions I wish to ask her. Mademoiselle, I asked you here in order to answer a very important question. Am I right in thinking you said that you did not speak to anyone on the day Sir Carmichael was murdered?
It's the absolute truth.
Yet, Lady Clark maintained that she saw you talking to a stranger on the front doorstep.
Really? She must have been mistaken. Oh, I remember now. I'd forgotten all about it, but it wasn't important. It was just a salesman. One of those traders who sell stockings from door to door.
Can you describe him to me?
Medium size, glasses, dark suit, and a felt hat. Not the sort of man you notice. Completely harmless. That's why I forgot all about him.
Nothing else?
He was very hesitant and shy. Usually door-to-door salesmen are very confident, but he wasn't.
You did not leave Churston willingly, I believe.
I don't wish to lie. Lady Clark did not appreciate my presence. And Franklin could not go against the wishes of a sick lady. He is a good man, and he worries a great deal about his sister-in-law.
I noticed that you left some personal belongings behind at Churston. It was too risky for you to keep these objects, am I correct?
Risky? What was the risk?
You know very well what Lady Clark might have said if you had kept these objects.
Indeed. These objects were gifts. But Lady Clark would have been convinced that I'd stolen them. By returning them, I put an end to such evil gossip.
Bien. I must ask you one last question. Please reply frankly with either yes or no. If Lady Clark had died, would you have agreed to marry Sir Carmichael if he'd asked you?
How dare you ask such a question? Sir Carmichael treated me just like his daughter. And all that I ever felt him was affection and gratitude, nothing else.
Thank you, mademoiselle. I will not keep you any longer.
I met Thora Grey on the stairs. Her cheeks were ablaze, and she appeared to be deeply hurt. Poirot, have you offended the poor girl again? Do you have good reasons for accusing her?
I accused her of nothing, Hastings. I simply asked her an important question she did not answer. Let us see if we can answer it for her. Let us now try and get our brain cells to work. You must know how to read between the lines, Hastings. When Sir Carmichael refers to paternal affection, he is lying to himself. Read this engraving on the brooch. A dark dragon for an angel with glossy hair. These are the words of a lover, not a father. Lady Clark was not wrong.
What if Sir Carmichael had fallen in love with his secretary? That doesn't mean that she forced him to do so.
True, there are extenuating circumstances. She is a penniless orphan. But she's calculating. Just look how she avoided it when asked if she would have married Clark.
I see. You think she seduced Sir Carmichael for her own gain, and that now she is doing the same with his brother. Poirot, your world is a very dark place.
Do not get carried away, mon ami. We have another more important matter to settle.
Really?
Yes, would you believe that Miss Grey taught me something new? Let us now try and get our brain cells to work. It's perfectly clear, Hastings, perfectly clear. Indeed, a stocking seller visited Andover, Bexhill and Churston on the day of each murder. We have our suspect. This should be of interest to Job.